cat. People really like these small cats a lot. So it's a kind of a different, situation. But yeah, not a lot of them around, and there's not a lot of places out of the, I mean, there's places in the wild where they can come out of, but not a tremendous a lot of places. And Russia's one of the places that has them, and obviously a lot of difficulties working with Russia right now. I was surprised. You were talking about before, to get away from the politics of things, to talk about cats, but I was with 4 Russians, and the one guy's a director of a national park there that's 1 million hectares, and he was so happy to see an American and talk to me through his phone, doing the translation part of things, just because I don't think these guys have talked to a lot of Americans going over there a lot lately. And the person in Moscow I was talking to her about the war, and she was very interesting with their comments, because they really don't understand why this is taking so long and what they're doing. I mean, it's a completely different mindset than we get over here in the U.S., and they don't get very much information about our stuff over there either. So it's interesting when you go on these trips and you meet people from different countries and places like this that you don't really have much contact with, except the commonality of the Pallas cat itself.
Were there any other of our 4-footed friends that you were over there to take a look at? What did you see?
Well, I didn't really, that's what I really wanted to do, but then we saw the Problaski's wild horses, which is the only,
cool.
the only wild horses in the world that, are actually tracked back to real wild horses. There's a national park there that we went and spent a day with, that I think they have 900 to 1,000 horses there on the national park. And again, a lot of marmots. There's Pallas cats in that area too. The 4 cats they have that are interesting in Mongolia to me are the snow leopard, the Pallas cat, the lynx, the Eurasian lynx, and then they have a wildcat too. And they're not sure exactly what this wildcat, what the lineage is, because there's wildcats in Africa, there's wildcats in Europe, and but the commonality as far as lineage goes, they're not exactly sure, and they're having a hard time. Nobody's really studied them, and so we talked a little bit about maybe getting involved with that project too. And obviously snow leopards, so we've done a lot of snow leopard work, and that's something else that's on our agenda too. Again, Ray, people want to get involved with us with this. We're always looking for donations to be buying new collars, and I brought a whole bunch of binoculars over, and spotting scopes, and handheld receivers, base stations for their collar work. If people want to get involved and help us with this, we really appreciate that kind of thing, because for us, again, that differentiates us from everybody else. We're actually out there doing the work, and we need financial support to make those things happen. We got to get some more camera traps over there too. They want to do some camera trap gridding, see if we can find a little bit better study of the area with Pallas cats too. So
Huh. Owning that SUV wants my lane.
long-range or long-range ballistic missiles tipped with nuclear warheads is a direct threat to every capital in Europe. We are doing this not only in defense of America, but in defense of the free world. And NATO doesn't want to help. NATO doesn't want to assist. The same NATO that the United States has been subsidizing with our tax welfare state was built off the backs of American military might. We invested in our military while they invested in their welfare state and their long weekends and their long holidays, all paid for by us, by our soldiers, by our Marines, by our airmen, our sailors. So President Trump has said the free ride is over, Sean.
Camp anymore. And all of, I mean, wow. But just days ago, I'm sure this rift is going to be taken care of. And I'm sure it's going to be over. I'm sure it's going to be, better than before. Victor Davis Hanson has chimed in on this, talking about the European allies. Not only have refused to assist in Iran's conflicts, but some have actively impeded our capabilities, denying the military use of their airspace, as many Europeans push for a more Eurocentric NATO. And if it keeps going that way, they're going to get a Eurocentric NATO. I mean, just days ago, European leaders signed a willingness to let third world countries like Iran dictate their energy usage. Oh, God. And the president of the European Commission stated that due to reduced energy supplies following the Strait of Hormuz closure, Europeans would be asked to reduce their energy usage. It's not really fair to them because of somebody's particular views of us. This is just all getting so old. And certainly we have become energy dependent upon nobody. We have enough that we can certainly share with the EU, so they don't have to depend upon everybody else over there that really has a knife behind their back. But I don't think it's come to that point yet. Maybe it will, as they finally get some conciliatory stuff together and we can kiss and make up. But we'll see. It doesn't help with a war going on, but at the same time, they were in the crosshairs of Iran. Big time. I mean, Iran made it very clear they wanted to eliminate Israel. They made it very clear that they had targeted EU countries. They made it very clear that they had targeted us and had the ability to reach us. And we still haven't been able to confirm that. If they had that type of missile, mechanics, technology that would reach the United States, yeah. And this is not a time for NATO. This is not a time for the EU to be looking in another direction at all. Period. Well, anyway, let me throw this one at you. Squad member Rashida Tlaib, one of our favorites, is leading more than 20 House Democrats and pressing the Trump administration to reverse its decision ending the temporary protected status for Yemen, arguing that the